Hi Glennis, this is just a short video just showing you your ancestral family home, Windyhill Farm, previously called Windyhill Farm. So this road here is Auckland Lodgement Road, it connects the town up to the Braes, heading over to Ayrshire. And this here would be the road that your grandparents and those before them would have walked up and down to get to the farm. So not too far to go up here. So I copied you a copy of a file with regards to a tree planting survey that was carried out, and it does show some sketches of what was left here, and you can see that when we go up here. There's a couple of cisterns and I'll show you where those are, so that if you look at the file you should be able to see them in relation to where they are if you look at this video. So quite a steep climb up here. Pity the poor old horse that's got to pull the cart up and down, I suppose. I'm not too sure what type of farm Windyhill was, if it was arable or livestock or possibly a mixture of both. But it's surrounded all round here by quarries, or old quarries, Johnstone, lime, etc. Now the road continues up there, but for pedestrian wise I've got to take this path here, which will connect us back up. So just a short detour. So you can see some of the old farm field walls there, all overgrown now. Obviously there must have been some sort of fuel segregation here. There's some other ones there as well, going along. And that's us back onto the farm track, leading up to what would have been Windyhill farmhouse. Now there is some rocks here, whether that was of a building I'm not too sure, or if it's just been an embankment that's been built. But basically here is where your ancestors would have lived. Windyhill Farm. So what we see there in this building here is basically where the manure would have been kept. Manure or silo, possibly silo for feeding animals during the winter. So 3-wall construction, that would have been put in there, and I'm guessing some sort of hap or cover would have been put over that to keep it fresh for the winter for feeding the animals. Along here you've got a couple of water cisterns, which again you should be able to tie in by looking at that map. Now there's 2 water cisterns, there is a pipe connected in between them, so they're connected. Now whether this was for a water supply for themselves and livestock, possibly digging down in a borehole to get a water supply underground, I'm guessing that's what they would be. Still a water supply there. You'll see that pipe there, that goes up there and along and connects into this one. And there is still some water in that one as well, you can see it there. So I'm guessing it's been a borehole there rather than a well feeding these 2 tanks. There is a foundation wall running along there. What building, I have no idea. I think if I remember according to that report, it said there was 4 buildings here. Probably a farmhouse and a couple of barns. But looking round the area, that's you looking across the Clyde to the Kilpatrick Hills, across on that side. That's Paisley, just over there. Glasgow in the background. That's the Glenburn estate up that side, and this is basically the Glenifer Braes. So a Lovely outlook for summer to stay, but I think it's been quite cold. So that's a 360 pan of what your ancestors would have seen. There's been a lot of tree planting here by the Scottish Forestry Commission as part of their bit to replant and get natural trees back in. But just at the bottom you can see the main tree line in the front there. Towards us here you then have Allpatrick Burn, or commonly referred to as the Brandy Burn, and that runs right down through Elders Lane and then joins the Black Cat. But that's Windyhill for you. You can see some more foundations over there. Again, that looks just like a farm wall, maybe with a gate post. I'm just wondering why that would be so high. This one here. So to me that looks like a gate post, but could be wrong. But again, in that report it does say there was evidence of rubble being deposited here. So although the buildings have been demolished, well, the rubble's been left, but it did state that additional rubble had been brought up and dumped here. Just round the corner here there's some more foundations, but coming up here this would have been the main yard for your farm. Just now it's all been set out and passed with the Forestry Commission. The area is actually called Windyhill for the walk, and there's various paths for people to either walk themselves or take their dogs out for a walk. So there are foundations, or some rubble of foundations run along here as well. You can see it goes right along, it's up to those bushes and back down. Now whether that looks like concrete, I'm just wondering if that's the rubble that's been deposited or dumped here. Not too sure. And that's you, that's Windyhill for you. That rather slightly windy day. Again, looking at that report, and I have seen it in the old maps myself, and I've looked at maps of the area. This goes back to medieval times, and you can see it in the maps of the late 1500s appearing in Pont's map. So there is a good read in that report, giving you a bit of history of the area and the farms in the area, and looking at the roads, how they've worked out that this was Windy Hall before it became Windyhill. With regards to the picture that you put in of where your grandparents used to go as girls, the building's still standing, number 53 Auchinlodment Road, and I've took some pictures of that and I'll put those on separately for you. So that's it. Enjoy your nice time in Australia.